Howdy, friend. Sam Houston here, hoping you're living in high cotton. And if you're lucky enough to be in Texas, I know you're most of the way there. Now enjoy your daily dose of Texas history and Texas pride.
Howdy, friend. Welcome back to the Feed Bandit podcast and your Texas History Roundup for April 6th. In 1813, in San Antonio, José Bernardo Gutiérrez de Lara, leader of the Gutiérrez-Magui expedition, declared independence for Texas. About a week earlier, his Republicans had defeated the Spanish Royalist forces at the Battle of Urcia. But over the next few days, Gutiérrez executed several Royalist officials, and many Americans abandoned him and left for New Orleans. This independence for Texas would be short-lived, as about 3 months later, the Republicans would be defeated by reorganized Royalist forces in the Battle of Medina. In 1830, the law of April 6, 1830 was passed, markedly altering Mexico's earlier colonization and immigration law of August 18, 1824. It prohibited settlers from the United States, but immigration from other countries and from Mexico was encouraged. This new law was very unpopular and was repealed in May 1834, with all contracts automatically restored and extended by 4 years. Mexican contracts ended with the Texas Declaration of Independence in 1836, but most of them were restored by an early act of the Texas Congress. In 1836, from Jared E. Groce's plantation, General Sam Houston's restrained letter of response to President Davis G. Burnett's recent criticism read in part, quote, "I have kept my army together under most discouraging circumstances, and I hope a just and wise God, in whom I have always believed, will yet save Texas. I am sorry that I am so wicked, for the prayers of the righteous shall prevail. I am very truly your friend, Sam Houston." End quote. This day, General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna joined General Joaquin Ramirez y Sesma's army as it proceeded cautiously toward San Felipe de Austin. In 1862, General Albert Sidney Johnston was killed while leading his Confederate forces at the Battle of Shiloh. Johnston was a U.S. Military Academy graduate and had arrived in Texas in 1836. In 1938, President Mirabeau B. Lamar appointed him as Secretary of War for the Republic of Texas. Johnson became a general in the Confederate Army and was considered one of the most brilliant leaders in the War of Northern Aggression, or the War for Southern Independence. With an appropriation from the Texas legislature, his remains were transferred from New Orleans to the Texas State Cemetery in 1867, and in 1905 a monument sculpted by Elizabeth Ney was erected at his gravesite. In 1896, John H. Selman was shot and killed in El Paso by U.S. Marshal George Scarborough. During the 1870s, Selman was a deputy sheriff at Fort Griffin for Sheriff John Lara, and the two controlled vigilantes, rustled cattle, and terrorized the community until vigilantes killed Lara. Selman fled to New Mexico, where he led a band of desperados until he was driven out of that territory. The Texas Rangers captured him at Fort Davis, but he escaped and fled to Mexico. Several years later, he returned to El Paso, where he killed Ranger Baz Bass Outlaw during a brawl at a brothel, and later shot and killed John Wesley Hardin while gambling at the Acme Saloon. At his trial, he was released due to a hung jury, but he was killed by Scarborough several months later. Well, that guy sounded like he had an interesting life. In 1911, the Elizabeth Ney Museum was founded in Austin and became one of the earliest centers for artistic development in Texas. Ney was Texas's most famous sculptor, best known for statues of Stephen F. Austin and Sam Houston at the Texas Capitol. And in 1936, baseball coach Wayne Graham was born in Yoakum. At San Antonio Junior College, Graham won 5 national titles in 11 seasons. After he joined Rice University in 92, the Owls won 18 consecutive conference regular seasons or tournaments and appeared in 18 consecutive times in the World College Series. Wow, winning the national championship in 2003. Graham never coached a team to a losing season. He was 5 times Coach of the Year for Conference USA and is a member of the Texas Sports Hall of Fame. Wow, that's pretty crazy. All right, well, that, my friend, was your Texas History Roundup for April 6th. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll catch you back here tomorrow on the next one. You take care.
Well, there you have it. If you like our podcast, check us out at feedbandit.com. There you'll find awesome Texas First outdoors gear and apparel. Your purchase helps support the Bandits and keeps this podcast on the air, fighting for you and for Texas. Remember, preserve the tradition, protect the legacy. Until next time.